This is an anime recap video, and in this video, I'm going to show you a boy named Sung Jin Woo, who is the world's weakest hunter, but upon unlocking a player system, he becomes the unstoppable S-rank hunter. It all starts 3 years ago on Jeju Island. One of the ship's captains calls his teammate and informs him that the monsters on Jeju Island are very powerful, and the current team of hunters does not have the strength to stop them. He feels that if backup does not arrive, all the hunters will be killed and no one will be left alive. On the island, a hunter is running away from a monster. He gathers around his group of hunters and informs them that the monsters are coming and they should prepare for a fight. Just as they ready themselves for a battle, a giant swarm of ants arrives and attacks them. The hunter tries to protect themselves with their powerful magic spells, shooting them with all they've got. However, their spells do not work, and the ants begin to eat them one by one. Seeing his group being killed, one of the hunters believes that the ants are very strong, and they cannot handle monsters like them. Their group's leader, being eaten by a giant ant, believes that his body is reaching its limit and is about to die. Just then, a hunter named Byung arrives and kills the giant ant. He activates his magic spell, revealed to be a healing magic, and instantly heals the injuries of the group's leader. While he is busy healing the injuries, the leader realizes that this is the power of an S-rank hunter. While the S-rank hunter continues healing the injuries, he lets his guard down, causing the other ants to attack him. Just before they do, another S-rank hunter arrives in time and kills them with his thunder magic. He then calls his teammate named Yunho and asks him to take over the battle. Just as they begin their battle with the giant ants, the low-ranking Wonder Hunters believe that the S-rank hunters have arrived to save them, and their pathetic, lowly lives will get to see another day. The S-rank hunters ask Byung not to let his guard down while being on the battle, but the S-rank healer informs them that nothing will happen to him on their watch, and if some powerful monster arrives, he believes that both of them will save him. Just then, a giant white ant arrives and readies for a fight. The S-rank duo, Yunho and Yoonseok, believe that this must be the leader of the ants and ask their friend to take care of the Wonder Hunters while they head toward the giant ant to kill it. Yunho grabs one of the legs of the giant ant while Yoonseok blasts its body with thunder magic. Realizing that Yoonseok has created a way for him, Yunho cuts its legs with his hands and activates a powerful spell, piercing the body of the ant with it. Just as they begin to celebrate their victory over the leader of the ants, a group of white ants arrives, confirming them that the one they killed is not the leader of the ants. Yunho, seeing so many ants, believes that the god is very kind to him since he has not had any fun in a while. Just as both of them activate their powerful spells and shoot them towards the ants, another S-rank hunter named Choi, on the other side of the island, activates his fire magic spell and blasts the group of ants with it. He then, along with all the hunters, charges toward the giants and begins killing them. The narrator then reveals that it all started with the appearance of mysterious portals in the human world known as gates. Gates are magical portals connecting Earth to dungeons, another dimension teeming with powerful monsters. They appear randomly across the globe, in any location and at any time. Since the monsters that come from inside the gate are very powerful, normal weapons have no effect on them. However, people with special awakened abilities can kill them, and those people are called hunters. The hunters are determined by their power levels, including S rank, A rank, B rank, C rank, D rank, and the lowest E rank. In the present, we are introduced to a pathetic loser boy named Sung Jin Woo, who resides in Seoul, the city of South Korea. He is an E-rank hunter who always gets hurt in dungeons, including the lowest rank dungeons. Aware of his lack of strength and power, he feels embarrassed when referred to as a hunter. Despite facing injuries and near-death experiences, he never backs down. A compassionate individual, he takes on the hunting job not for pleasure, but to cover the medical bills for his sick mother and the school fees of his sister. Since his father vanished a few years ago, and a regular job does not provide enough income, he had no choice but to become a hunter to support his family. Before embarking on a dungeon raid mission, he spots his old geezer friend Kim, who is having tea with his companion Park, and tries to avoid them. However, he captures the attention of other hunters who warmly welcome him for the raid. Witnessing this, Park questions Kim about Jin Woo's identity and wonders if he is a formidable hunter. However, his excitement dissipates when the old geezer informs him that Jin Woo recently joined their group and is considered the weakest hunter of all mankind. His weakness is evident as he got injured in an E-rank dungeon. While the old geezer mocks him and urges Park not to say anything, Jin Woo overhears everything, acknowledging their point about his weakness. At that moment, his friend, a B-rank hunter named Juhee, arrives and inquires about his health. Jin Woo shares that he was in an E-rank dungeon with powerful hunters and got injured while exploring it. When asked about the healers, Jin Woo explains that all the hunters were powerful except him, so they didn't bring any healers to complete the raid. We are then introduced to the president of the Hunters Association named Go, who discusses the matter with another S-rank hunter. The hunter inquires with President Go about his meeting with the government, to which the handsome geezer informs him that the government wants them to prevent dungeon breaks and supply the goods acquired from the dungeons to them. He also mentions that the government's request for supplying goods is beneficial, as they sell those goods to earn money and pay other hunters. The goods collected from the dungeons are called magic gems, obtained from slain magic beasts, and can be sold for money. Magic gems obtained from high-ranking magic beasts can be crafted into more powerful weapons to defeat stronger magic beasts. When asked about the government's desire, the president reveals that they want to use magic gems as a new type of energy. They aim to create an energy source safer than nuclear power and more efficient than hydropower, wind power, and geothermal power. This is why they need more magic crystals, requiring more hunters to collect them. During a raid mission, a geezer named Mr. Song announces himself as the group leader and encourages everyone to give their best in the dungeon raid. As they enter the gate, Jin Woo takes out a knife from his bag, explaining that due to a low budget, he could only afford this small knife with a little magic. Despite this limitation, our determined boy believes in himself and asserts that he will do his best today. Upon entering the gate, he encounters a green goblin who attempts to attack him. Our boy tries to play the hero, but unfortunately, his knife turns out to be as pathetic as he is. Instead of piercing the goblin's chest, it breaks, causing the goblin to counterattack and pierce Jin Woo's chest with a blade. Witnessing this, Park intervenes, attacking and killing the green goblin with his sword. He then asks Juhee to heal Jin Woo's wounds while he goes to assist others. Meanwhile, the hunters successfully defeat the remaining monsters. While healing his body, Juhee asks Jin Woo why he became a hunter despite being weak. She worries about his well-being and tells him that if he continues doing so, not only his stomach but his whole body will sustain unhealable injuries. Before he can say anything to her, another person informs everyone that he has found another passage in the cave, which is revealed to be a double dungeon. Seeing the double dungeon, the group leader, Mr. Song, tells everyone that he will call the Hunter Association to take over this raid since they don't know anything about the double dungeon and do not want to put everyone's life in danger. However, our old geezers, Kim and Park, tell him that they have already defeated the dungeon boss, and since it's a D rank, they can easily complete this one too. Hearing this, the leader decides to arrange a vote, and it goes down to 6 and 6, with Jin Woo remaining the last one. Since our boy is a kind guy who wants to earn money just to take care of his family, he decides to enter the dungeon. In the Hunter Association headquarters, Mr. Choi calls his employee and inquires about the new hunters. The employee tells him that 1B rank hunter and 2C rank hunters have agreed to sign with them. Feeling happy at this, Mr. Choi informs him to sign hunters with merits, as they do not want to spoil the name of their association and their talented S-rank hunter, Cha-hee. Just then, two thieves rob a bag from a girl and try to run away on their bike, but Miss Cha-hee arrives in time and takes the stolen bag from them. She then gives it back to the girl, who thanks her for helping her, but a large group of fans arrives to greet her, causing her to flee from the place. While going inside the double dungeon, Jin Woo apologizes to Juhee, and due to his vote, they need to go to the double dungeon. However, Juhee shuts him down, telling him that she's not concerned about the double dungeon. All she cares about is his safety, and if he gets hurt again, she might not be able to save him. Jin Woo apologizes to her, but she tells him to apologize to her by treating her to a meal next time. Just then, they reach the door of the double dungeon. Due to his horrified look, some hunters feel uneasy and want to go back, but our old geezers, Kim and Park, proceed ahead, stating that they have not come too far to turn back empty-handed. As they open the door, the torches inside the room light up and turn blue. They enter the room and see weird-looking statues holding various things and weapons. Jin Woo gazes at one of the statues and believes it must be the boss. Mr. Song discovers a magic circle beneath their feet and asks about it, but another hunter calms him down and shows him the dungeon rules. First, worship the god. Second, praise the god. And third, believe in the god. Juhee then tells Jin Woo that she feels the big statue guy is moving his eyes and looking at them. However, our boy dismisses her observation, thinking she might be mistaken. Suddenly, the room's door closes, trapping them inside. One of the hunters attempts to leave the room, and just before he touches the door, one of the statues comes to life and cuts him in half, causing panic among the hunters. In a horrifying state, Jin Woo reflects on the rank of the slain hunter and wonders how a D rank, stronger than an E rank hunter, could be easily killed inside a D rank dungeon. He then realizes that this is not a D rank dungeon but a very powerful one beyond their imagination. His horror intensifies as the big statue moves its eyes and fixes its gaze on him. Just then, the big statue shoots a laser beam, instantly killing most of the hunters. Mr. Song informs the other hunters not to move. If they do, the big statue will attack them. Due to Jin Woo's call, most of them survive the attack. Mr. Song asks him if he knows anything about these statues, but our pathetic loser boy tells him that he just sensed the imminent threat. Realizing that due to the attack, Mr. Song has lost his left arm, Jin Woo ties it with the armband to stop the bleeding. Mr. Song, heavily bleeding, reveals that he cannot ask for Joo-hee's help as she is very weak-minded and always opts to compete in simple raids. He even reveals that the dungeon they are in might be a rank, but then corrects his mistake, declaring it an S rank. Suddenly, one of the hunters activates his powers and informs everyone that he recently signed up with a high-level association, so he cannot die in a place like this. Believing in his high speed, the hunter charges towards the gate. However, the next moment, he is burned to ashes, with only his feet and shoes remaining. Horrified at this, Jin Woo believes that the big statue with fiery eyes has the power to instantly kill them but wonders why it isn't finishing them off. Suddenly, he thinks about the words written on the commandment tablet and asks Mr. Song about it. Mr. Song tells him that the first one is worship the god, the second one is praise the god, and the last one is have faith in God. Hearing the commandments, Jin Woo realizes that this dungeon has its own rules, and if they follow them, they might be able to make it back alive. Just then, he gets up and starts to move. Before the big statue can shoot him with its fiery eyes, he stops and kneels down, causing the big statue to also hold its attack. Realizing that the plan is working, he asks the others to do the same, and they happily oblige. Seeing them kneeling, the big statue stops and turns its face into a maniacal smile. Believing that the big statue will no longer attack them, Park gets up and asks everyone to run away as their lives have been spared. But our pathetic loser boy believes that something is not right. Just before they can move an inch, the big statue gets up from its seat and heads towards them. Mr. Song asks Jin Woo about his next plan, but he tells him that the second commandment was praise the god. Hearing this, one of the hunters reveals that he has been conducting research on traditional folklore and knows how to praise the god. He kneels down at the big statues and begins praising him, but our weakest hunter realizes that these are not the words to praise this god. Just then, the big statues again show their maniacal smiles and crush the hunter with their feet. Not only this, but they also crush the other female hunter. Horrified at this, everyone runs towards the other side of the room, with Park stopping below a statue and revealing that he has a family to protect, but gets sliced in half by the statue above. Jin Woo wonders about how they can praise the god but realizes that these statues are not gods, but demons. He looks at statues holding weapons but sees some holding musical instruments. He believes that they can be safe if they stay below them and informs everyone about them. Hearing Jin Woo's words, Mr. Song and the other hunters head towards the statues holding musical instruments. Upon reaching, the statues start playing their instruments, causing the big statue not to attack the ones who are standing below them. However, our pathetic loser boy, who is also a kind-hearted guy, holds Joo-hee's hand and stops below the statue. Due to two people standing below, the statue does not play the instrument, causing our kind-hearted boy to leave her and run toward the other statue. The big statue then starts chasing after him and almost crushes him with its feet, but Jin Woo avoids it and ends up below another statue. However, one of the hunters informs him that the statue above him is not holding an instrument but a shield. Just before he can get up, the statue attacks him and injures him on the spot. Wanting to live, Jin Woo crawls towards the musical instrument, and before the big statues can crush him with their feet, he makes it below the statue. Just then, Jin Woo believes that this is the answer to praising the god, and the next moment, the big statue stops its raid and sits on its throne. Joo-hee rushes towards him and asks if he's okay, but realizes that one of his legs has been cut off. Just as she begins to heal his leg, blood starts coming out from her eyes and mouth, signaling that due to constantly using her healing magic, she has lost all of her mana. Suddenly, the big statue activates a spell and creates an altar inside the magic circle. Seeing this, Jin Woo reveals that he has heard about these kinds of mythologies where people offer tributes or living sacrifices to the god. Realizing this, Mr. Song unsheathes his sword, but Mr. Kim puts his sword on his neck and tells him to become the sacrifice instead, revealing that due to his wrong decision, they are all stuck in there, and he must take responsibility for being a captain. Hearing this, Mr. Song agrees and heads towards the magic circle. Just as he enters inside it, a red flame appears in the outer line of the circle. He asks Jin Woo about this, who asks the others to take him there. When the trio reaches there, 3 more red flames appear in the outer lines of the circle. Seeing this, Jin Woo wonders if the Hunter Association will save them if they stay inside the magic circle, but realizes that it's been 7 days since the gate has opened. After 7 days, all magic beasts and monsters will pass through the gate to the human world. So, they must defeat the boss and close the gate within the time limit, and if they fail, the big statue will destroy their world. Just then, he asks the remaining 2 to get inside the circle, and when they do, the blue flames appear and cover the outside area of the magic circle. Not only this, but the gate of the room also opens. They look at the door and wonder if this is a trap or a way to live. However, before they can think further, all the statues of the room begin marching towards them. Horrified at this, Joo-hee closes her eyes and starts crying. But Jin Woo tells her to look at these statues, and if she does not, they will attack her. Seeing the deadly statues outside the circle, a hunter girl and a boy yell and run towards the gate, passing it successfully and making it out alive. Seeing this, Jin Woo believes that the red flames represent the number of people inside the circle, and if anyone leaves, 1 red flame disappears, while the blue flame is a timer, and if they stay inside until its end, they should be able to make it out alive. However, Mr. Kim dismisses his idea, stating that it's also possible that when the flame goes out completely, they might get locked up. He thanks Jin Woo and tells him that due to his sharp thinking, he is able to survive till now, but mentions that he has a family waiting for him and runs away. Just then, Mr. Song tells Joo-hee to take Jin Woo and run away while he stays in the circle. Due to constantly using magic, Joo-hee runs out of energy and falls to the ground. Since her feet cannot move, Jin Woo asks Mr. Song to take her and leave the room. Joo-hee persists, but Jin Woo gives her a magic crystal and asks her to buy something to eat, revealing that when he gets out, he will come to her for the rest of the money. Just then, Mr. Song knocks Joo-hee out and leaves the room. Realizing that he is the only one who will die, he grabs a sword and asks the statues to come at him. The statues attack him and start tormenting him. While being tortured to death, Jin Woo reveals that he always wanted to become stronger but didn't due to his weakness. Despite that, he survived this time and always helped everyone, but no one cared about him. They just thanked him with their lips, but no one realized that he has a family too, and he wants to return home alive. Just then, one of the statues pierces its blade into Jin Woo's chest, and he falls onto the altar. Before it can finish him off, Jin Woo states that if he had another chance, he wants to live and doesn't want to die. Just then, a system-like notification appears before him, revealing that he has acquired the qualifications to be a player, and if he does not accept this offer, his heart will stop in 0.02 seconds. Like and comment if you enjoy this video. Subscribe to my channel for more anime recaps, and tell me what anime recap you like to see next in the comments below.